My plants are growing. They're a little bit taller and they are starting to grow their true leaves. They're a little bit taller and the true leaves are starting to grow in. The seed leaves are the longer ones that are long and straight. Those are the ones that came in the seed. And these squiggly ones are the true leaves that are coming in now that are the identifiable leaves of the plant. All right, you can see the plants are starting to grow. They're getting bigger. They're over the edge here. And I've got 3 beautiful little tomato plants growing. And really starting to see their true leaves. You know, we can really recognize that these are tomato plants. And eventually I'm going to have to pick one to be the winner of Natalie's tomato race and to actually go on to make tomatoes. That's Rocco in the background. So I'm keeping a close eye on these guys, making sure they have plenty of nutrients in their water. And eventually I will be picking one to continue on. Okay, today's the day. We gotta pick which one is gonna be the one plant to survive and give us tomatoes. I'm going to keep this plant right here because I believe its root, I don't know if you can see that little thing sticking out, that little root I believe is that plant. So I think he's the winner of the race, and unfortunately the other 2 are gonna go. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm going to cut them right at the base. It's a little nerve-wracking. Okay, one more. I'm going to cut this one right at the base. And I'm cutting it so that we're not disturbing the root system inside. And the roots from these 2 little guys will just kind of die and decompose, and that's fine. They'll be like part of the nutrients for this plant to grow. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I fill inside here with some more water because I'm running low. And now that we have this little root sticking out, I want to make sure that he gets that water too. Okay. So exciting day here with the tomatoes. We've got 1 now, 1 left. And this is going to be the one to grow to maturity, the 60-day mark, and give us tomatoes. Hello, tomato gardeners. I'm hoping that your plant, your tomato plant, is starting to get some nice growth. You can see mine is getting pretty tall now. And the best part is, let's see if I can get this. Yes. The roots are so long, which is very good. We want those roots in that water. Some of the roots also attach themselves to the little piece of string that we put in there. That's totally fine. They're just like absorbing water from it, so that's good. If you planted your seeds a few days after I did, or even a week after I did, your plant might not be as tall, but you still should be at this step where you only have 1 seedling growing, right? In my past video, I picked one of the 3 to keep going, and then I started adding the plant food. And as soon as I started adding the plant food every other watering, it started really growing up, and the roots as well. Okay, hey gardeners. Just wanted to show you the progress on my tomato plant. It is getting pretty tall there, and it has little tiny flowers on it at the top. Let's see if you can see that. Little tiny flowers up there. You see the little bud? It's very cool. Very exciting, of course, because that means soon we'll have tomatoes. So yes, let me show you also the roots. The roots here pretty long. Look at that. So that is very exciting. Yes, so please share the progress on your plants. I'd love to see them. If you need any help with your plants, let me know, and I can help you troubleshoot. Okay? Have a good week. Hey gardeners, Greenway gardeners, I'm checking in with another update on my tomato plant. So you can see here, my tomato plant is over a foot tall and it's actually flowering. Let me get you up here. So you can see here, I have one set of flowers that have already opened up. And then I have several flowers in the back here that are still about to open. There's also another set at the top up here. So this is going very well. I'm very excited. And I'm going to show you how to pollinate these just to give them a little extra help. So I have this watercolor paintbrush here. You can use a makeup brush or any other kind of paintbrush, really, as long as it's fine enough to get some of the pollen off of the flower. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush this up against the flowers that have opened. And then transfer over here. Okay. And there you have it. Hopefully that was pollinated. And so in the next few days, we should see some signs that these flowers will become tomatoes. And as the rest of them open up, I will brush them with my brush. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about your plant. If your plant is not flowering, make sure you are giving it the plant food and make sure you're not letting the basin get empty for too long. Hey gardeners, I wanted to give you an update on my plant because I've got little baby tomatoes. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So my plant started getting really tall, so I had to put in a little stick. As you can see, I got creative with a chopstick and a straw to kind of hold it up because it is a little top heavy and I don't want it to fall over. So I have this, some string there, tying together a little metal straw taped to a chopstick. Yes, so the tomatoes are self-pollinating, so you don't really need to do what I did in the last video and use a brush, but you can to help it. You can also just kind of shake it a little bit. You just kind of tap the plant a little bit. It helps the pollen just go where it needs to go. So yes, so once you are getting flowers and fruit like this, you want to make sure that you up the food. So you want to make sure that you are giving it food a few days in a row and then give it water only. So what I've been doing is the plant food Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday I'll do just water. And the plant is so big that it is consuming all of the water that I'm giving it. So definitely make sure that you keep checking in on your plant because the bigger it gets, the faster it drinks the water. Okay, and especially once you start getting fruit, you want to make sure you have enough plant food in there to make the fruit happen, right? You want to see the fruit grow all the way and become red. And you also want to make sure your plant doesn't dry out at this time because the fruit are usually the first to go. So if you let the plant dry out, your fruit will start to wither. Okay, so keep an eye on it every day when you get to this point. Every morning, check it because you want to make sure those tomatoes happen. Okay, so good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully, we'll all be getting some delicious tiny tomatoes soon. Hello, gardeners. So, I have my tomato plant here, and we have got some beautiful little tomatoes on here. Lots of them. We've attached the plant to this frame, this light frame that I have here, because it was just getting so tall and I was going a little bit past where the window is. So now we've got it going horizontally. And as you can see, there's the sun, very bright. And so this window is south facing. So I live in the San Fernando Valley, and you can see over there the Santa Monica Mountains. And so that is facing south. So we get sun all day at this window. And so these plants are doing really well. And of course, you have to keep refilling the little basin, right? And you don't want it to get empty. And the bigger your plant gets, the faster it's going to be drinking that water. So you really have to keep an eye on it every day, especially if it's in a warm location. This plant, I have to refill every day at this point because the plant is so big. This room is so warm with the full sun uh, that it eventually just uses it all up. And you want to make sure that you're using nutrients. So if you have any issues, like me, for example, I've run out of the plant food that came with the kit. So we have to start making our own plant food at this point. So one way you can do it is with a banana peel. If you eat bananas, you can make your own plant food with that. It's pretty easy. Basically, you put them in a jar that you can seal with some water, and all of a sudden you have plant food. Not really all of a sudden, after a couple of days, you have plant food, and you use that liquid to continually feed the plant. We also have some fertilizers here, so I might use some things that we already have in our house. So if you have fertilizers that have phosphorus, which helps plants flower and grow fruit, then definitely use that in the mix. Remember, this is a small basin, so you're not going to use a lot. You're probably going to water it down a lot, but it's important to just keep feeding them so that it can keep growing. And soon you'll have tomatoes that you can snack on. All right, let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me or respond to the video on Flipgrid. Hello, gardeners. At this point, you should have some red tomatoes. Our tomatoes are starting to turn red. Not all of them, but many of them. And we have many more growing. You definitely have to keep watering, keep feeding it those nutrients. And then you'll get some beautiful, delicious tomatoes. Let me know if you have any issues or questions with your tomato plant. Hey gardeners, today is the day I'm gonna eat a tomato. So here we go. I'm gonna come over here, picking a new one. Right here. Ooh, look how pretty. Oh my god, that is amazing. I hope that you get to eat some tomatoes soon too, and that you have, beautiful tomatoes on your plant. Let me know if you have any questions about your tomato plants or if you need help getting to this point.